Hey, Louis, we asked you before the game about what it was feeling like to get ready to manage your first major league game. What are the emotions now that you've won your first major league game?
Yeah, very, very excited, Steve. And we played really good baseball today. The guys threw the ball really well. From Jake to Lugo, Wilson, and Diaz, they just, they were able to throw some really good pitches and mix well. And you gotta give credit to Ramos. I mean, Ramos did an excellent job just staying within the guys in sequences and just going to battle with that lineup that went through 4 times. So it's just a good combination out there, and some plays made behind the pitchers too. Jimenez coming in late, making some plays as a defensive sub. We saw Conforto make a nice play in right field to prevent extra bases. So it's there's a lot of good things that happen out there. I mean, I thought we hit the ball really well. It's excited about a lot of things, man. For Cespedes, coming back first game in a while and just being able to do that, what he did, it's special. So great game overall.
Yeah, to that point specifically, can you put into perspective just how difficult it is to do what Cespedes did, to not play in 2 years and come back in your first game and hit a home run like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him. We've seen him. I think in his first game we had here in camp, he hit a homer against Seth, and we have a feel that something's going to happen when he's at the plate, and he showed it again today. It's almost like he didn't lose a beat of who he is, and he got 3 chances to hit out there, and one of them hits a homer. I mean, that's pretty impressive after the time just being away from a big league game. So just credit to him and the preparation that he's put to get back and to be on the opening day lineup today.
Thanks.
Yeah, Louis, congratulations on the first win. What you're, I'm sure, thinking about strategy in the dugouts. Did it even make a difference to you that there was no fans or no kind of buzz in the stadium? How did you react to that?
No difference as far as getting locked in. I mean, you prepare real early towards the game just to make sure that you're on your toes. I mean, with what the game throws at you. I mean, you prepare, you make a perfect plan, but you got to have so many contingency plans throughout a game. And still, things come up and in a baseball game, and you gotta go quick and make a decision. So it was the same feeling from my end, and being able to have conversations with the coaches throughout the game. They're pretty much the same. Now, with intensity of the crowd, like as far as noise, that was the only part that wasn't there. I mean, the sounds were there, but it felt like a real game with some of the sounds there. But how the crowd gets sometimes with different things that can happen in the game, it was just a little different in that matter.
Hey, Louis, congrats on the win. Because of what happened with Diaz last year, I know it might have been more tense for you in a 1-0 game, but because of what happened with him last year closing, was it more significant to you to hand him the ball in a 1-0 game?
No, I mean, we've gone with what Diaz shown to us, this year. I know Sugar had a little bit of a challenge, towards the end of the season. The way he threw the ball at the beginning was lights out, like the Sugar we know, like the Sugar that we have now. And, he's done a tremendous job in camp, and I said it here, just being able to execute his pitches. And, we saw fastball swing and miss. We saw slider swing and miss. So that's the Sugar we know. And that's why, he was there closing the game with a 1-0 lead.
Hi, Luis. Did the guys in the clubhouse or anybody else do anything to commemorate your first win?
Yeah. I mean, right now, I got this different smell on me. I don't know what they threw on me, but they threw a lot of stuff. I know there's some protein shake and maybe some Jello mix. I feel sticky, and smells getting a little different, with time. But yeah, it did the traditional ritual, of showering me with different stuff.
So you got the full shower treatment.
Yep. Yeah.
Laundry basket and everything.
They did it. They did it right.
Got it. Thank you.
Luis, congratulations. You mentioned Jimenez before. Were you thinking going into the game that you're going to use him in those situations late in the game for defense? And did you have that conversation ahead of time with Cano? And is that a difficult decision for a young manager rookie manager to have to make a move with a veteran guy like Cano like that?
Well, everyone knows here, and we talk about how everyone's going to be used in the game and what are the potential moves that we're going to do in the game. So, one of the things that I prioritize is communication, and I talk ahead with the guys about what may happen in the game, and that's something that me and Robbie and other players on the team have talked about, and we want to be out there probably having the best defenders at the end of the game. Cano is a solid defender, but Jimenez has a little bit more range to the side that he can cover a little bit more ground than Cano can. So that's some of the moves that we talked previously, yes, with Robinson, but also other players. And having the depth in the roster and having the luxury of having so many guys like we have on the position player side. We're heavy right now. We have 16 and 14. There's guys that can do different things like that and can come in to pinch run, can come in to play defense, can come in to pinch hit. And, it's us just getting away from the National League game, where you have your DH. Now you're gonna be in situations where you're gonna have a pinch hitter, and you're gonna have a position player come in and pinch hit for you rather than using the pitcher spot where usually your traditional pinch hitter in the National League will come. So we got to be humble enough that there's somebody that's going to come in there and get the at bat. So passing the glove, passing the bat, passing the wheels, with the pinch running too. So we got to be humble enough, and they know already. Some conversations that I have with the team.
And just real quick, leaving Wilson in to pitch to Acuna, what was your thinking there? You could have matched up with a righty if you wanted to.
We like Wilson against lefties and righties. I mean, Wilson's, he's got history of closing games, is being set up. He's not necessarily a lefty-lefty type of pitcher. We think, blend of his cutter, curveball, and what he can do with his fastball when he elevates. He's got weapons for righties. So that's the reason behind, having Wilson at the end of the game and having Wilson face righties, like Acuna there. So, big trust in all our guys. They throw the ball really well, going to camp. So, we're going to see a lot of that entering the season. And, guys like Wilson, guys like Diaz, they're going to be going after either righty or lefty.
Hey, Louis, what was the reaction to Cespedes' home run like in the dugout? We could hear a little bit of it up here, but what was it like being right down there?
It was, I heard the dugout. They erupted. They went crazy. Obviously it's a great moment for Cespedes. I mean, he's been waiting to, get healthy, get back into a lineup, get back into playing, and then he does that today. And it's a homer. It's our only run, to get the win in the first game of the season. So it's a pretty special moment for him. And the guys were the guys in the dugout. They were yelling, having fun. I mean, they were being who they are, and it's once again, it's great to hear that, when the guys just go crazy, something cool happens on the field.
Thank you.
Hi, Luis. Congratulations on the win today. I am curious if you could just talk about what the comfort of knowing that every time you hand the ball to deGrom, you're practically guaranteed a quality start, if not a dominant start. And secondary to that, do you ever worry about him getting frustrated by so little run support and having so little to show for these grad outings over the last 2 years?
First, Jake, it was Jake today. And, just going through what he's done in the last week. You guys know that we had the little scary moment when he was talking about his back, and then, getting the MRI, and then everything coming back clean, and then him losing some of the innings for his build-up. It's just great to see him do what he does. He was Jake today, and his reads were exactly how we expected them to be. As far as velo and the movement of his pitches, so he was under control throwing there. I mean, it's he went to the pitch count that we had in mind planning, and first time he's got his 5 out. So we're looking for Jake, to keep building up now from this, and then see if he can go where we elevate his pitches for his next outing. But right now he's in a good place. He gave us everything he asked for this game today. And the other question, to answer you, like Jake he's always out there just grinding and competing, to put his team in a position to win. He doesn't get distracted. He doesn't get emotional about what the guys are doing as far as like run support or anything like that. I mean, it's definitely something that you never hear him say. I mean, Jacob deGrom is going to go against the number one from another team that he's facing usually. That's how it's lined up. So the guys are also going to have the challenger facing the number one pitcher for another team. And Jake is never going to complain or say anything to the guys in order to mean that they're not supporting him.
Hey, Lou, you had talked before the game about trying to get in contact with your dad before the game. I'm just wondering if you had gotten able to talk to him before the game and what his advice to you was and what that conversation was like.
We spoke before the game, and it's always he gives me the blessing. He's we're believers, and it's like have a good season, God bless, and things like that. That type of conversation that we had, and we'll have similar conversation now when I get to call him after after the call here. So it's basically that, and it's a great day once again, and first win as a manager, and I'm just hope he's really proud of the moment, and we'll reach out to him after this call.
Louis, what did you think of Seth Lugo today in those middle innings, and can you foresee that that's kind of going to be his role going forward?
Seth can do a lot of things for us. Seth, is going to be extremely important for this type of season. I mean, he did it today going the 6th and the 7th, but Seth has the ability to throw the 8th and the 9th too, just going multiple innings like that. Him and I had conversations already about his usage, and that right there tells you it's going to be that, just similar to what I described, just coming in and giving us multiple innings and being able to stop the offense for a couple of innings. So we're going to use him either right after a starter to give us 2. We can use him 7-8. We can use him 8-9, and he's going to be very versatile for us in this 6th game sprint.
Jake, I know that it wasn't the same atmosphere. There weren't the same, having no fans in the stands is certainly very different. But especially early on, you came out, throwing those fastballs, high 90s. Did you have the same level of adrenaline for an opening day, even without the atmosphere, that you normally have had in the past?
It definitely pumps you up when there are fans in the stands. We play to play in front of the fans. So definitely was a little different. But with that being said, for me, when somebody steps in, I want to get them out. And, it felt different. Even looking around, I feel like there was more interaction with the guys in the batter's box than normal. Because as far as they're looking at you, you got really nowhere else to look. So that was a little different. But other than that, I felt like it was pretty close to the same opening day feel, but not quite.
Going in that you're going to be limited to right around 80 pitches. Are you thinking about approaching at-bats differently that way, trying to get early outs, or do you go out there, let it fly, and just let the chips fall where they may?
I was just letting it fly, let the chips fall where they may. I would have liked a little bit earlier contact, but, didn't want to make any mistakes. Wanted to try to go out there and put up zeros and give us a chance to win, which we were fortunate enough to get a win today. That was kind of my main goal.
Hey, Jake, obviously only 72 pitches. What was the discussion between you and the team as far as how far you could go today?
I talked to Hef before, and, he kind of said we could get up near the 80-something mark, but if we were in the 70s in the 5th inning, that was the first time going 5 ups. He's like, let's just play it safe. I think having those innings fairly clean and not going out there for the 6th and then, getting some runners on that could have easily got to the 85 or above. I feel like I probably would have tried to stay out there if I had some runners on, just that's just how I approach the game. I want to try to get people out. And that was the conversation. He came up to me after he said, well, 71, 72, whatever I was at. And he's like, this is it. We're just going to – I said, okay, that's fine.
And also, when Cespedes hit the home run, were you in the dugout? Were you in the clubhouse? What was your reaction?
I was in the clubhouse. The funny thing was I joked with him before the game. I said, why are you hitting for me? So he went out there and hit a homer for us, which was big. So I was inside doing some shoulder stuff, my normal after pitching routine. And, I was in here watching it. So really happy for him.
Thank you.
Jake, we know you throw hard, obviously, but I think the first 6 pitches, 5 were 99 on the scoreboard and 1 was 100. Just feeling really strong because this was your first start of the year, starting in July. Was there more adrenaline? How do you kind of attribute coming out so hot like that?
I felt really good in spring. Felt like the ball was coming out really well. And then with this time off, I continued. I think you guys know I'm always working on my delivery and stuff, trying to get it as smooth as I can and repeat it. And with this extra time off, I took the same approach, trying to, stay as smooth and repeat my delivery, get my arm moving the way I wanted it to. And felt like I was very under control. Felt like, I wasn't falling off as hard as I do sometimes. I felt like everything was just kind of in line. And like I said, I just tried to stay smooth and, it was coming out really well.
Thanks, Jake.
Jacob, did you watch Cole and the Yankee game last night? And do you feel now that it's in New York that there's any kind of, competition, rivalry? Does it make you think about being the dominant pitcher in New York?
I started watching the start of it, but then cartoons got turned on, so I didn't really get to see the whole thing. I got outvoted 2-1 on what I was allowed to watch, so I wasn't able to continue watching it. But, my goals, like I said, it's the same every time, and that's to go out there and put up zeros. Another team, what they're doing, I try to just go out here and compete for my team.
Hey, Jake, you came out fastball heavy in the first inning, but you obviously had a pretty good slider today. Did that come around, or was there a reason that kind of shot away from the first inning?
I felt like I was throwing the fastball pretty much where I wanted, and I try to read swings throughout the game, and I felt like it had good life on it, and just decided to stick with it. I didn't want to leave a slider over the middle or something and give up a homer or double or whatever, single, triple. I just felt good with the fastball in the first inning, so just kind of stuck with it.
Along those same lines, you look like you only threw a couple changeups. Is that just because it's the same thing? You felt that good about the fastball and the slider?
I actually threw a lot of changeups. I looked up a couple times and they were registering as sliders, but I threw. That's what I got Freddie on. Matt Adams, I think I threw him 4 in a row. Albies, I threw 3-0, 3-1. Those were changeups. I threw a lot of changeups today. I think they were registering wrong, but I had a really good feel for my fastball. The changeups, when I actually threw them, they were good. When I walked Freddie, those weren't even close, but I had a good feel for it pretty much other than that at bat. So I was mixing those 3 in quite a bit. I think they were just reading wrong on the board.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Jake, you mentioned kind of having that interaction with guys at the plate maybe more than usual. You and Freddie always seem to have a little back and forth when you're facing each other. What was that like today to see him again?
I enjoy facing Freddie. For me, I think he's one of the best, if not the best hitter that I face. And he is a tough out. He'll battle you. So I enjoy that. The interaction's fun too. We play this game to have fun, and it makes it fun when you kind of have that little back and forth, and it's me versus you. So we enjoy it.
Yoenis, on just a purely emotional level, what does it feel like to be gone as long as you were and to come back and not just play but have a moment like that?
Emocionalmente, ¿cómo se siente para no jugar por tanto tiempo para tener un momento así?
Bueno, sí, está bien contento porque hoy era el primer juego. y creo que tener la oportunidad de dar un honrón después de 2 años y que con esa carrera el equipo ganara, creo que no tengo palabras para describir eso.
No, I'm very excited. It was very exciting just to be able to play again and to be able to have a moment where I played and also hit the home run that decided the game. I don't have words for a situation like that.
Now, I know you've talked a lot about how you kept yourself ready and how good you felt at the plate, but was there any difference even early on today going up there in a real game, a game that counted? Was the pitching any better than the ones you've seen to this point?
Él sabe cuánto tú te has preparado en estos tiempos. ¿Fue algo diferente cuando tú te enfrentaste con ellos que tú sentiste que tenía que ser algo diferente?
Bueno, sí. A pesar de que jugamos 2 juegos contra los Yankees, la mentalidad era de hacer lo mejor posible, pero también dentro se sabe que esos juegos no valían. No quiere decir que no quise hacer nada en esos juegos, pero hoy que fue el primer juego de la temporada, ya el enfoque fue un poco mayor.
Yeah, despite playing like the Yankees those 2 games, I wanted to do well there, but at the same time I knew that those games didn't count the same way here. It doesn't mean that I wasn't playing as hard, but knowing that this game meant so much, that's kind of what the big difference was.
Yoenis, you've said that you used the doubt that people had as motivation for yourself. Having hit the home run now in your first game back, what is the feeling looking back on that journey?
Tú dices que tú usas la duda de la otra gente para poder tener éxito. ¿Cómo se siente para tener ese momento así?
Bueno, sí. Las personas muchos hablaron cosas buenas, muchos hablaron cosas malas. Y eso lo que hizo fue, como dije anteriormente, motivarme más. Y creo que dando el jonrón de hoy, después de 2 años, creo que ya me probé a mí mismo que todavía puedo seguir teniendo los mismos resultados de antes.
Yeah, like you said, some people said good things, a lot of people said bad things, and that was one of the things that kept me motivated to come back. And being able to hit a home run after being out for 2 years, it proved to me that I can still be the same player that I used to be.
Were you looking for a fastball in that at bat?
¿Tú estabas buscando una reta en ese turno?
No, solamente estaba buscando un buen picheo para hacer un buen contacto.
No, I was just looking for a good pitch to make good contact on.
Thank you.
Hey, Yoenis, I'm wondering how weird was it, if at all, to hit that home run and be staring at the empty seats? And did you miss that crowd noise as you were rounding the bases?
¿Cómo se sintió para dar ese home run y no ver fanático ahí? O si eso te hace falta a ti.
Bueno, si hubiese visto fanáticos, hubiese sido un poco más emocionante, pero como quiera lo fue porque fue la carrera que puso adelante el equipo y la única carrera, y con esa carrera ganamos.
If there would have been fans there, it probably would have been a little bit more emotion to it. But regardless, for me, that was the run that put us ahead. For me and the team, that was a big moment.
What was that reaction like from your teammates in the dugout?
La reacción de los compañeros ahí en el dugout, ¿cómo fue eso?
Bueno, en ese momento se olvidó del coronavirus. Creo que de la forma que llevamos el juego y con ese honrón poner el equipo adelante, creo que todo el mundo nos pusimos bien contentos.
I think at that point, we all forgot about coronavirus, and we were all super excited at that moment. And because the way that I play and the moment that happened, we were just excited in that big moment.
Hey, Yoenis, I know you've talked a lot about, being the player again that people remember, even though it's been, 2 years since you've played in a major league game. Can you be that same guy? I mean, do you not put any limitations? Are you going to be the same guy that the people remember watching?
Tú hablas mucho que desde ser el mismo jugador que tú fuiste hace años para atrás, tú todavía sientes que tú todavía puedes ser ese mismo jugador sin problemas, sin obstáculos.
De la forma que me estoy preparando, que me sigo preparando, de la forma que me preparé y como me estoy sintiendo cada día mejor, creo que muy pronto sí me voy a sentir de esa forma, que voy a poder ser el pelotero que era antes.
Yeah, with the way that I've been preparing myself, the way that I will continue to prepare myself, and the way that I've been feeling better each and every day, I still feel like I will return to being that player from back then.
Thank you.
Yoenis, you mentioned that this this game gave you a little extra motivation, of course, in the Yankees game because it counted. In the at-bats you took in the inter squads over the past week, did you feel like your rhythm and timing further improved? And is that also something that's different this weekend to last, or were you already pretty much ready by last weekend to play?
Tú dices que comparado con el juego de Yankees, este juego contaba en los juegos entre el equipo de nosotros, de que nosotros tuvimos. ¿Tú sientes que ya tú tenías tu ritmo o en esta semana fue que te llegó para atrás?
Bueno, sí, yo diría el último juego contra los Yankees y los juegos que tuvimos aquí, ya me estaba sintiendo y me sentí mucho mejor en el juego.
Yeah, I think it was the second Yankee game that we played, and throughout the week is when I started to feel back to normal with my timing.
Thanks.
Edwin, I know it's just one game, but how critical was that for you to get off to that type of a start?
Exacto, es nada más es un juego. ¿Qué importante es para tener un juego así?
Es importante porque eso es lo que yo estoy buscando. Yo me preparé la temporada muerta y en el primer sprint training y en el segundo para pues, demostrarle a todo el mundo que yo tengo la habilidad de seguir cerrando juegos. Eso fue lo que hice hoy. Vine al juego calmado. Ya sabía el reporte de los bateadores que iba a enfrentar y hice lo que quería hacer, hice los pichos que quería hacer y las cosas salieron súper bien.
No, it's important for me. That's what I've been looking for. That's why I prepared so hard in the off season, both spring trainings that we had. But I came in prepared. I came in calm. I had already looked at the scouting reports of the batters that I was going to face, and I was just ready to go at that point. That's why it's so important.
I know during that preparation in the off season and during the spring training and summer camp, you focus so much on, mechanical tweaks to try and get that command back. Obviously, you issue the walk to Freeman, but outside of that, did you feel like your command was significantly better than it was last season?
Sabes que tú te enfocaste mucho en la mecánica tuya, pero aparte de la base por bola que le diste a Freeman, ¿tú sientes que la mecánica tuya es tan como tú quieres?
Sí, yo hice los picheos que quería. Freeman hay que darle crédito, es excelente bateador. Yo le hice los picheos que quería, la localización que quería las tiré. No le iba a regalar nada. Yo quería que se hiciera agua él solo. Porque yo sé que atrás viene un bateador como Zuna, viene Adam, que son bateadores que le hacen swing a muchos picheos, no vienen a esperar el picheo. Y la base por bola de Freeman fue un turno que, a mi entender, me gustó mucho a mí porque hice los picheos que quería y no le regalé nada. Preferí regalarle la base por bola y que me ganara otro bateador.
No, well, those were pitches that I wanted to throw to Freeman. I felt like I located the pitches that I wanted to. Eventually, I was just I wanted Freddie to get himself out because I knew that hitters like Ozuna and Adams were coming up after him, and they're more free swingers, and they're not the type to wait for pitches. But yeah, with Freeman, I felt like I was throwing the pitches that I wanted to, and eventually it was better to put him on base and then get the next two guys out.
Hey, Edwin, what do you think a game like today does for Yoenis Cespedes? How much do you think it meant to him?
¿Cómo tú crees que un juego como hoy se significa para Céspedes? ¿Qué tú crees que es?
Yo creo que un juego como hoy para Yoenis es increíble. Yoenis es uno de los mejores bateadores que hay en las Grandes Ligas. Se ha perdido 2 años, creo, por lesiones. Son cosas que pasan a nosotros los deportistas. Pero no se le puede quitar crédito a él. Él es excelente bateador, tiene un buen approach y hizo lo que debía hacer. Él vino aquí a dar palo, como decimos nosotros, los latinos, y creo que se ve muy bien en el plato.
Yeah, I think it's super important for Yoenis. I think for Yoenis, he's one of the better hitters in the game. He missed 2 years because of injuries, and sometimes that happens. That's a part of the game. But Yoenis comes in here and he's here to drop bombs, like we say, and I think it's super important for him to do that.
Hey, Edwin, just curious what it was like to get Luis his win in his first game and what that celebration afterward was like.
¿Cómo fue para darle a Luis su primera victoria y qué fue la celebración en el clubhouse?
Pues súper contento pues poder ser parte de la primera victoria de Luis. Rápido que se acabó el juego, Ramos y yo le regalamos la pelota de su primer juego y la celebración de adentro, pues, como todo el mundo protegiéndose con los protocolos, pero le hicimos un pequeño detalle y yo creo que le gustó mucho.
Yeah, so I think it's very good. It's very exciting to be able to be a part of his first victory. right after the game, me and Ramos presented him that game ball. And then once we got inside, we following all the protocols, of course, we gave him a little bit of a celebration.
Gotcha. And was that the last strikeout ball you gave him?
¿Tú le diste la bola del último ponche?
Sí, la bola del último ponche. Yo acostumbro a guardar las pelotas de los juegos salvados, pero en ocasiones especiales, pues, se las regalo al dirigente. Hoy siento que es una ocasión especial para Luis, su primer juego ganado en su carrera como dirigente de Grandes Ligas, y no podía llevarme la pelota a casa sin se la debía haber regalado, se la tenía que regalar.
Yeah, it was the last strikeout ball. Usually I take the last out of every save that I get, and I take it home with me, but for certain occasions, I had decided to give it to the people who deserve it. So for him to be able to win his first game as a manager, I had to give him, and I couldn't take that ball with it.
Got it. Thank you.